I don't know about you, but there have been times in my life that I felt like there was something I was supposed to do. And I don't mean that, that nagging idea, that lurking idea that, oh, I forgot to put the clothes in the dryer, or I forgot to turn off the coffee pot. I mean that deep down knowing I have an assignment. There's something I was supposed to do, and I just haven't done it yet. And if I'm honest with myself, the reason I haven't done it yet is there's just a wee bit of fear. Just a wee bit of fear. I'm J Loren Norris with Leading Leaders Podcast. And I know that through the course of any leader's life, there's going to be a moment where you have an opportunity. This opportunity might loom large. It might be the opportunity to take a job when you're about to go off to school. It might be the opportunity to go off to school when you're about to take a big job, maybe a pay raise, maybe an opportunity within an organization. And you're thinking to yourself, if I do one and give up the other, or I give up the first and take the latter, then my destiny will change. And that is absolutely true. It is absolutely true that it's hard to hold on to both race cars when they're going in opposite directions. It's true that it's hard to hold on to two relationships that are going in the opposite direction. It's hard to hold on to two destinies that are going in opposite directions. And I want you to know that as a result of that truth, there's going to have to be some boldness, some courage, some fearlessness in you that says, I know that this destiny, this vision for my life, this dream for who I'm supposed to be, this calling, this culmination of all of my gifts and talents and abilities, I know that it's going to require of me perhaps more than I've ever given. It's going to demand of me something that heretofore has never been demanded of me. I'm going to have to step out in a way that I have never stepped out before. Maybe meet some people I've never met before. Do some things I've never done before. Learn some things I've never studied before. It's going to require me to get out of my comfort zone. And I want you to know that as a leader, while you're standing there trying to make that decision, will I jump off this ledge, so to speak, into whatever it is that's supposed to be next for me? That courage may be the last thing standing between you and your destiny. See, a lot of times we want to put that blame on we didn't have enough education. We didn't have enough resources. We didn't have enough opportunity. There were too many other people doing the same thing. Let me give you an example. Just last week, I felt an unction, if you will. I'll call it a nudge from the Holy Spirit to take what we do, this video production aspect and this content creation aspect and these face-to-face interviews aspect and the AV company that we run, the DJ part, and kind of merge it all together in a public arena. And under that unction, I kind of felt like the nudge said, there's a particular mall in your local area that would benefit well from what you are planning to do. In fact, this vision you've had for over 20 years to actually put all this together in one place and make it a training center and make it a learning center and be able to offer some classes and some internships and all of that together and all the equipment that you purchased. It all fits together in one place. Take advantage of that one place. And I thought to myself, I'd love to do that, but that's a huge expense. I'd love to have a center, if you will, that has public accessibility and public visibility where people can walk in and be a part of what we're doing, where they could walk up and stand in front of the camera themselves and take over the angle themselves and be the one who's making the presentation, or they could simply be the one behind the camera learning to do what I do, learning to do better what I do, better than I do what I do. They could be educated, they could be trained, but they could also come in and learn some new leadership skills. They could come in and be a part of what we're doing at a whole new level. But right now that's not accessible because my studio is my space. It's my place, and it's not a place for hundreds of people to gather. So when I felt this nudge to take it to the mall, I thought that's a really unique idea. I thought that's a really unique idea. Turns out I went to the very place that I felt like the nudge said, that's the place, go and do it there. My wife and I made an afternoon of it. We went to that place and we walked around, and guess what? There are 6 other people doing a similar something right there in that place. Now, on the day that we went, even though it's a mall and they have a contract that if you're leasing space in the mall, you're required to be open anytime the mall is open, 5 of them were closed. Yep, closed. Doors locked. Nobody home. Nobody answering the phone. Nobody replying to emails. Nobody replying to instant messages. Just closed. Which means it's really hard for anybody to access them, to be a part of what they're doing. And part of me asked the question, well, does that mean then that the nudge was wrong, that A, that building doesn't need what I do because there's already half a dozen people doing it, or B, was the nudge wrong that that's the place, that really that place doesn't have the traffic for it, that place doesn't have the people for it, it really shouldn't be there? Well, I don't know which one of those two might be more true, but here's what I do know. The minute I noticed that there were half a dozen other people trying to do it there and none of them were successful at it, the fear set in. Yep, me too, just like you. I struggle with the fear of, am I enough? Am I capable? Am I competent? Am I the one to pull off what half a dozen other people have tried to do and haven't pulled off? Why would I be the one? And I'm still reminded that when it comes to your destiny, to the thing that you're called to do, to the thing that you're uniquely gifted to do, to the thing that no one can do quite like you, the last hurdle in your success, the last roadblock stopping you from moving forward may not be a lack of resources, although that may appear to be the issue. It may not be that you don't have enough people around you to pull this off. It may not be that you don't have the education that you think maybe you should have. It may just be that you're using all of those as the excuses. Not enough resources, not enough income, not enough synergy, not enough people around me. You're using those as the excuses to cover the fact that you're afraid. See, as leaders, we need to know, not only in our lives, but in the lives of those that we lead, that there's a really strong possibility that what's stopping us is what Joe Rogan years ago would have called the fear factor. Oh yeah, the fear factor. Remember that show? They used to eat really gross stuff and do really frightening things and do things that stuntmen would go, oh no, we're not doing that because that's dangerous and that's crazy. But see, the fear factor, the show, the fear factor was all about how do we get you out of your comfort zone and is it worth $1 million to you? Well, let me ask you this. If your destiny, if what you believe you were called to do, if that next thing in your life is sitting on the other side of courage, is it worth it to you? Are you willing to step up, to fight through, to face the resistance? To stop lying to yourself about all the obstacles that you claim, like finances and resources and education and people, and just do it? Are you willing to have the courage to just do it? Now, I'm not trying to scold or chastise you because, as I just told you, I'm in the same boat. I am the same kind of leader who says, I have these brilliant ideas, I have a new vision, I know where I want to go with it, and I believe that I am in the right place at the right time and with the right skill set and the right talents and the right opportunities, and yet I'm a little bit afraid. I want to challenge you along with me to step out of that zone of fear and to get busy doing what needs to be done. Take a little action. Take a little step. Move forward a little bit. Don't let the fear be the thing that stands between you and the impact you're supposed to have in the world. Don't let fear be the thing that stands between you and the success that you're supposed to have in this world. Don't let the fear be the thing that stands between you and the destiny that's waiting for you with your name on it. Leaders know that to reach their destiny, it demands courage. And I challenge you today as leaders, not only to have that courage for yourself, but to instill that courage in those that you lead so they too can reach their destiny. I'm J Loren Norris with Leading Leaders Podcast for Tell It Like It Is TV. Have a blessed day. Subscribe now for our extensive video library of leadership lessons promoting faith, family, and freedom.